due to the fact they're trying to create a new world currency to destabilize the dollar, and Donald Trump is just not having that. Now, a couple countries have already started changing their tune. I know the president of Canada has already contacted Donald Trump. I think he's already excluded India from those tariffs because we do a lot of business with India, but China has definitely been threatened with tariffs, and Mexico as well. So Mexico's president, she tried to fire back a little bit on Trump about these tariffs, and now China is talking about imposing some tariffs on the United States as well. So let's go ahead and check this story out so you guys can hear the latest update on this story.
Has banned the export of some materials essential to the manufacturing of electronics and some military equipment to the U.S. It comes in response to Washington's chip sanctions on Beijing. CBS News Money Watch correspondent Kelly O'Grady joins me now to help explain all of this to our audience. So, Kelly, I guess the question for a lot of people is, how reliant is the United States on these materials?
Very. Okay. So, I mean, you mentioned it. This is a key input in your phones, in defense technology. And I was looking this up. So gallium and germanium, these are two of the materials that China has said, we are not going to sell these to the United States anymore. We get over 50% of what we use from China. Now, we do have some of that in our earth, in the territory here in the United States, but we don't necessarily have the infrastructure to tap into that yet. So we're very reliant on it, and we're very reliant on China for this. This is kind of the tit for tat trade war we're seeing escalate.
Yeah, it's so interesting. I mean, we often use terms here in this country, and perhaps they do as well in China, that paint the Chinese as our adversaries, not straight up enemies, but adversaries. And yet, when it comes to the global trade and global economy, we're more tied in together than perhaps it may sound like when politicians pontificate at a podium.
It's a really great point you make. And I think you have seen a lot of countries, not just the US, but China, some of these other nations move away from that global perspective and more towards what we like to call a protectionist mindset. Now, President-elect Trump refers to that as America first, make America great again, protecting domestic industries. And we're not alone in this, right? I mean, China is doing that same thing of, if you're not going to give us this, we're not going to give you that. And ultimately, yes, your domestic industries get more protected, but on the global scale, it's not always a win-win.
Yeah, I thought it was also interesting that, as you know, the president-elect has been making comments about imposing tariffs on China. And he frames it as this is a way for America to win. I thought it was interesting that the Chinese said this is a no-win situation for both the United States and for the Chinese.
Well, because China wants to.
So, yeah, I mean, we can just stop that right there because no matter how you feel about what Trump is proposing with these tariffs, something just got to get done. Now, we got tons of fentanyl just being flooded into this country from China and from Mexico and from Canada as well. And for all these years, nobody has done anything about it at all. If anything, they've actually been promoting this and helping it get across the border into our country. A lot of people are dying from this fentanyl problem, and at least Donald Trump is starting to do something. So if you don't know about tariffs, the United States actually have, so if you don't know anything about the tariffs, so if you don't really know anything about tariffs, then you should know that United States are paying. So if you don't know anything about tariffs, United States is getting tariffed in a lot of different countries, and we do not do the same back to them at all. So every time we sell a car in a different country, every time we sell a product, they're taking a percentage of that dollar because it's an American product. But at the same time, they're allowed to sell all their products in our country, and then we are not putting tariffs on them. And we have all of these. And at the same time, we have this big fentanyl problem that's coming into the country. So, so countries are going to have to start changing their tune. Right now, they're posturing, they're trying to say, you guys are going to put tariffs on us. We're going to put tariffs on you. But let's get real. When the United States stop letting you play ball in our backyard, it is going to be a major downfall for any country who do not align with the new policies that Donald Trump is about to impose. Now, this only comes days after Donald Trump has released a new statement about the new BRICS currency that a couple of these countries are trying to put together a new currency to destabilize the dollar that is backed by Russia. So this is his official post that was on Truth Social. The idea that these BRICS countries are trying to move away from the dollar while we stand by and watch is over. We require a commitment from these countries that they will never create a new BRICS currency, nor back any other currency to replace the almighty dollar, or they will face 100% tariffs and should expect to say goodbye to selling and the wonderful US economy. They can go find another sucker. There is no chance that the BRICS will replace the US dollar in international trade, and the country that tries should say goodbye to America. So look, for the last 4 years, Biden has just been letting countries step all over top of us, and now the new commander-in-chief is coming in town. And I'm telling you, the man is coming in like a gunslinger, and he's making some moves, and he's making some serious waves. He's putting a dream team together of nothing but super rich men who do not belong to the establishment. They don't need their money. They have their own money. I like some of the picks that he put together. Now, there are a few questionable guys in there, of course, but you can't win them all. But he has a really strong team behind him, and I'm excited to see what is about to happen after he actually steps into office at the end of January. And at the same time, while Donald Trump is making moves across the country, meeting with world leaders, meeting with all of big tech, you can actually see the story just actually unfolding right in front of your face. All of the lies from Crooked Joe, they're just being exposed right now. He told us all this time that he would not get involved in his son's case, that he was fighting with, the gun charges and all of the stuff that he was wrapped up in. But now look what's going on. He actually just granted him a full pardon. But as a parent, I totally understand it. But we already knew that his son was guilty. And, they've been using the presidency this whole time to generate wealth for their family. So let's just check this story out from the new pardon that, Hunter was just granted.
Breaking news now, word that things are already starting to move positively for the presidentially pardoned Hunter Biden. The gun case is over in the eyes of the court. Judge Mary Ellen Noriega has terminated any further proceedings against Hunter, a move that we were expecting. She did, however, not fully dismiss the case outright, as Hunter's legal team had wanted. The case will not be erased from the historical record. But as we know, President Biden's pardon absolves Hunter. We'll now wait on the Los Angeles judge presiding over Hunter's $1.4 million owed on taxes. That case, we'll let you know how that comes to an end. That pardon is a gift that keeps on giving.
So bro been basically making millions of dollars because his dad been in office, basically leveraging the White House, to set up corporate meetings all across the country. We got this stuff going on with Ukraine, all the lies that was going on during the first election with, the laptop, his drug use, all of that. And then he got the nerve not to even be paying taxes. That is just totally crazy to me. So, the story just keeps getting more comical at this point in time. I don't even see how they are still letting Joe Biden do anything inside of the White House at all. He's on his way out. It seems like he's just trying to send us into World War III right now. He's giving all of this money to Ukraine. He's letting them shoot these long-range missiles into Russia, trying to ignite this world war right now before he gets up out of office. So that way Trump has to deal with this once he gets in. And I don't think it's going to work. I think Putin's smart enough to kind of see what's going on. But at the same time, he's not just about to let America and NATO, just step all over him. That man is something serious. So we just got to watch how this unfolds. I know there are so many new developments that are going to be happening within the next few months. So if you guys found this video helpful, I want to hear your feedback on this. Go ahead and leave it in the comments. Make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe, and share this. And I will see you guys on the next one.